All right, we're getting Patrick Lancaster, who's joining us live from Crimea. Thank you for joining me, Patrick. I hope you can hear me right now. We are getting some fresh updates that a new wave of explosions have been reported in Kyiv. Can you just confirm that to us?
To the Crimean bridge, which was, as you mentioned, hit by a bombing just 2 days ago. And there was a death toll of 6 people so far have been confirmed on that attack. Now, that attack was carried out by reportedly a truck bomb that was driven across the bridge with, so far as a driver that was unaware he was carrying this explosive device in the back of the civilian car. And purportedly the Ukrainian service set this attack up using the civilian car, which in itself is a war crime. What's going on in Kyiv? There's many images coming out of Kyiv of horrible things happening. And Russia told Ukraine that if they would continue the attacks on the 4 areas that were taken control of by Russia, and also including Crimea, that it would be like an attack on Russia, and there would be a swift response. And it seems that these attacks across Ukraine right now are the response of the attack on the Crimean bridge.
Patrick, you are just behind that bridge which was attacked, the Crimean bridge, because this is coming 2 days after the only bridge linking Russia with occupied Crimea was damaged in the blast. What is the state of the bridge? Could you just show it to us and tell us about it?
Right here behind me is the bridge, just past these grain silos. We're not too close, but the situation is right away, Russia got traffic going again on the bridge. It was part of the bridge was completely destroyed, but they were able to, within hours, do some repairs and get part of the bridge going in one direction. So at first, they were just letting 60 cars through at a time, and from both ways, 60 cars from one side, 60 cars from the other side. Now today, it's been raised to over 100 cars at a time. So there's still about a 4-hour wait to get across the bridge, but it's going. There's somewhat of a gas shortage, fuel shortage here in Crimea because of the attack on the bridge, because all of the supplies are coming by ferries now, because the larger trucks cannot go across the bridge because of weight constraints. They're only letting smaller cars. So there are some things that are happening here that are putting the lives of the residents in fears to run out. But Russia is in full gear trying to be trapped.
All right, Patrick, we lost your audio there. I think if you can just confirm you can hear us. I think you can hear us. All right, great. So right now we are seeing a war of words also erupt right now, because Russia is blaming Ukraine for what happened on Saturday when that bridge was bombed as well. Could you just tell a little bit about what is the situation like right now? Because we are getting multiple angles coming from multiple authorities. What is the situation right now? Who is saying what?
Yes, I mean, there's really no question who that bombing of this bridge. Ukrainian special forces, they've admitted to it online. The Minister of Defense for Ukraine has also commented online saying how the attack was done to hurt Russia, and that's what it is. It's hurting the Russian people in Crimea. And of course, Russia is blaming Ukraine, as you said, because they're the ones that did it. And it seems, as I said, that today's attacks across Ukraine are in response, direct response to this. What the people here in Crimea and the Russian government are calling a terrorist attack made by the Ukrainian state. And I mean, if you look at what a terror attack is, this is something that this attack was carried on by a civilian commercial vehicle with purportedly a driver that was not aware of it and remotely detonated when it got underneath a fuel tanker train car. And it killed at least 6 people. So it seems this fits the level of what a terrorist attack is.
All right. We're getting a tweet as well from the Defense Ministry of Ukraine, Patrick. I just want to read it out. They are directly blaming, I mean, I can't read it out because it's attacking Russia, so the words being used are a little provocative here, but they are basically attacking Russia, saying that you just don't get it, do you? Your terrorist strikes only make us stronger. We are coming after you. That's one part of the tweet. So we are seeing a war of words also being played on Twitter right now, Patrick.
Yes, both sides are accusing each side of terrorist attacks. It is a horrible thing, and unfortunately, there are people that are celebrating the attacks on both sides. In any way, civilians being killed cannot be tolerated. That's not a form of modern warfare right now. But, for example, in Kyiv yesterday, after the attack on the bridge here in Crimea, there was large pictures set up of the pictures of the bridge with explosions on it. And people in Kyiv were taking selfies in front of it. And that enraged the Russian people. I mean, that type of thing should not be tolerated on any side of any war. The celebration of killing civilians should not be tolerated.
Right. And Patrick, Ukraine is saying that multiple civilians have also been killed and injured after that missile strike. Could you tell us a little bit about the figure right now when it comes to the death toll? Because we are hearing that some people have lost their lives after those missile strikes.
Well, I think there's no question that yes, unfortunately, some civilians have died today, as they've been dying every day for the last 8 years since the war actually started in 2014. That's what a lot of people don't understand, that this war didn't just start in February of this year. This has been going on since February of 2014, when 2 of the regions of eastern Ukraine held the first referendum to break away from Ukraine, and subsequently Ukraine invaded those areas to try to retake control from the local militias. And that's what this 8-year war is about. And unfortunately, thousands and thousands and thousands of people have been dying every year for the last 8 years. Of course, this is the most intense year of this war, but it's always unfortunate to see civilians killed on whatever side of the conflict.
Right. And Patrick, has any response come from the U.S. right now? U.S. has condoned the war between Ukraine and Russia. Has any kind of response coming from the allies of Ukraine?
Well, they've continued their response with continuing to supply, as they call it, lethal aid to Ukraine to help in the fight against Russia, which many of the civilians on the Russian-controlled side of the contact line look at this aid from the West as just being supplied to help kill civilians on this side. And as far as the local population here in Crimea, I went around asking many locals yesterday what they thought about the attack and who was responsible. And some of them, all of them virtually said it was a terrorist attack by Ukrainian forces, but some even blamed the United States for this attack. That's kind of an overall theme in the Russian-controlled areas with the ethnically Russian people is that they blame the West and the United States for fueling the fire to continue this war.
Right. Also, we are hearing right now that some steps will be taken as well, where we are learning that very soon Russian president could chair a meeting with his Security Council and his other leaders with him to discuss the explosion on the Crimean bridge. So we're expecting that Vladimir Putin might come out with a statement later on after meeting his Security Council. Do we have any information on that, Patrick?
Well, I would say every day now it could be the beginning of the new segments of this war. And it seems like today might be one of those important days. Now, we could be expecting anything from as extreme as a declaration of formal war against Ukraine, which would free his hands quite a bit to make more attacks and get more military into Ukraine. And we could also be hearing something about a increase in the level of the mobilization or Russia's draft. As we know in the past, there's been 300,000 people mobilized, and it's in the process of being mobilized. Now, they say that's just 1% of their possible mobilization force. So it's also expected that that is going to increase as well. As of right now, it's just former military members that have experienced battle in the past and with specializations like a tank driver, something like this, that are being mobilized now. But civilians are expecting that that's going to increase heavily all the way down to the people being mobilized.
All right. Well, thank you, Patrick Lancaster, for joining us for now. You please stay safe. We'll be coming back to you